stepping away for 2 to help Diane in, all right? But the recording has begun.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so guys, I want to make this a little bit efficient because I just remembered this evening that I have an assignment to submit by 11. So I want to make sure that we do this very efficiently and we can get up this call reasonably for about 7:30. Right? So I don't know what's the order of the you have it. I think we have about 4 groups, right? Is it 4 or 5?
I think it's 6.
6. Okay. All right. So what may be useful is that we give each group a chance to fill some questions and to get some clarification, right? So let us see how quickly we how efficiently we can do that by now and about 7:30. So what I would want is for one group to come forward and say, this is what we've done, this is what we want clarification on, and if possible, share screen, so you can let the others have a similar understanding as you. My thought is always not to hide up things among yourselves, so it's not that they're stealing an idea. Learn from it. Okay, so that's the approach I would want to take, where people don't say, but why start asking for show a project to the other people? Yes, it's tweezing in here and there. Them can't keep your marks.
Sir, can we extend the pages from 12 to about 15 or 20?
Sure. I'm not wed to the number of pages. What is important is that you clarify whatever needs to be clarified.
So you say you don't have a problem if we go over the 12 pages?
I don't mark a page number. Is that page number is just a guide.
Okay.
Yeah. So don't feel wed to the page numbers.
Because we are way over it and we're really trying to get it done without losing content.
No, so if it is that it is over and it makes sense, yeah. So just make sure that you don't have any repetition and all of those things. I don't mark a page. I'll read it. The other thing I'll tell you guys, I read every single word that you write. I'm gonna read every single word that you write. So just make sure that there isn't any repetition in it and stuff. Yeah. Once it is making sense, it is coherent and stuff, I'll sit down and read everything. And I'm gonna see everything, including your full stops and your commas and all of that sort of thing. What is out of place and what is in place. All right, so group 1. Who's group 1?
Okay, sir, I had another question. So is the limitation towards the study itself or the method?
Oh, the limitation really is limitation in terms of the study. So what are some of the limitations that you foresee? So let me give you some examples. If you're doing a quantitative study, for example, you have no control over how the people will respond. So they may not tell the truth, or they may not complete the instrument. You have no limitation. You have no control over that, right? If you're doing qualitative, for example, or starting qualitatively, you have no limitation over how they answer the questions. And if they tell you everything. So look at it in terms of the study itself and not just the methodology. The methodology is a part of the limitation. There could be a range of anticipated limitation. But you see, for example, because it's a proposal, you have to write anticipated limitations.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
and what's your thing on the delimitations?
So the delimitations are the things that you have control over, but you decide not to do at this point. So it's like a scope. So if, for example, I know there's one group that is doing employee engagement, right? But you may have, let me see how to put this one. You may choose to define engagement and say, okay, these are the aspects of engagement that I'm going to focus on. Or I'm going to focus on engagement. So if it's engagement and you have different categories of workers, you may decide that, okay, I'm going to focus on engagement among these particular workers, right? What you would have to do though is to rationalize why you're focusing on that particular group of work. You may not, if you're in a big organization, right? You may not want to do everybody, yeah, because of time and money and all sorts of things. You can decide what's the scope of what you're going to do.
Okay, so the delimitation is really zeroing in on a particular thing.
So it's things that you have control over.
Okay.
So as I said, it's another way of saying what's my scope. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm trying to remember. Somebody sent an ask. I'm gonna go through my phone and look. Somebody sent an ask. Some meaningful questions. Let me see if I find them. They may also. Okay. Oh, so there was a question about literature review on the table, the matrix, which I think I had presented in the last class. So follow the matrix structure that you have in the project, right? So an easy way to do that is to, so if you have the journal articles, right? So find the journal articles, look at the first column requires you to reference. So there is a specific way to reference your journal articles, right? Now, the second column, I think says, what does the second column say again? Somebody remind me, what does the second column in the matrix say?
I think it gives the subject here.
Oh, subject.
Then the contents. I think that's how the matrix is. Subject, contents, reference. Like a summary.
Subject?
No, like you would put the name of the article. I'm trying to remember offhand. The name of the article.
All right, further up, so scroll up,
subject.
bring the document up. Further up. Further up. Right. Stop here. Stop here. Stop here. Stop here. Go completely on page 3. A part of it. Nice. 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 All right. So it for reference. So
I would just say is that, you know, it is what it is.
All right, so we're hearing somebody there. All right, so the reference is meaning how do you reference the article itself? So it's important to note that you're going to present the reference here. Now take note, in this example, this is exactly how you're going to reference your journal articles, right? So you need the surname, and this is a journal article that was written by one person, right? So you need the surname and you need the first letter of the person's first name. If the person has a middle name, you also need to put the first letter of the person's middle name, right? Notice the full stop just behind the first letter of the person's Christian name, right? But notice a comma after the person's surname. So the order is surname, comma, then the first letter of the person's Christian name. If the person had a middle name, it's the first letter of the person's Christian name. The year of the publication, the title of the publication. Please note that the title of the publication is not in italics. What is in italics is the name of the journal article or the name of the journal. So the name of the journal is in italics. So here the name of this journal is a Psychological Review, right? That first, the issue, I think it's either the issue or the volume, is in italics, and notice that 99 is in italics. The portion in bracket is not in italics, comma, 550 to 553. What that is saying is that you can find this article between pages 550 and 553. This is exactly the format for referencing a journal article, right? When you go to the journal, so this also is indicating that it is a hard copy journal. If you pull the journal article from a website or some other source, then you need to also indicate the digital object identifier, right? It's the DOI. So if you look in some of the journal articles or in the reference list, you'll see HTTPS, all of that, DOI, right? So if you found it on the internet, please ensure that you indicate where the DOI. The DOI is almost like the ISBN that actually helps you to distinguish the piece of work. So it's a unique identification. So as it says, digital object identifier is a unique identifier for that article. Right? The theme is whatever your research is about or your proposal is about. So I know some people doing engagement and whatever the other topics are, right? So for the people who are doing engagement, your theme is employee engagement. If you're doing satisfaction, your theme would be employee satisfaction. If you're doing something about workforce generation, that's your theme. Right? Yes.
So you would have the same theme for every reference?
You have to look at what the article is about.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. Okay.
But
okay.
Why I'm saying that is that I'm assuming that you are going to be reviewing articles that are in line or in keeping with what your area of study is about.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be that you're doing employee engagement, but you go and look on some article about pension.
Yeah.
Right. So that the wording may not be the exact thing, but it should be, as it says, theme. So whatever is in that column there should be a common thread that runs through all of them, and that common thread should be an indication of the area of focus for the proposal. Huh?
Yes, so that you just need one theme, even if the article has more than one. Say, for example, it speaks about employee engagement, but it also speaks about employee performance, employee relationship and performance.
That's a different construct, so be careful there. If you're looking at engagement, so unless you're going to look at, unless your study is going to look at comparing the two, or what's the impact or relationship between two things and stuff, then that's a different thing. Again, I won't dictate what you're doing. All I'm saying is that whatever you're studying should be, or whatever the article is about, it should be documented there. Yeah?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. The purpose of the type of publication, pretty much, and I've structured it this way, that there should be journal articles. So there shouldn't be books. There shouldn't be anything else than journal articles. This template allows best for journal articles, right? So that's just a clue there. So that column that says type of publication, the ideal thing to have there is journal articles. In terms of the purpose, you will many times look through a journal article, and somewhere in the abstract, that very first sentence, it will tell you what the purpose of the research is or was about, and somewhere in the first, in the introduction section of the body of not the abstract, the article itself, it will give you a sense of what's the purpose for the study. So why did they set out to study what they're studying, right? And so you'll get the purpose from the article itself. Don't go making it up. It is there, right? Equally, you will find them describing the methodology. So was this a quantitative study? Was this a qualitative? Was this a mixed methods? What were the methods that they employed? Did they employ survey? Did they do focus groups? Did they do interviews? They'll talk about the instrumentation. They'll talk about who are the people who are involved in it, where there's male and female, from where, the location. They will probably also talk about the sample size, how they went about doing it. So it's things like those that you would be looking to capture in that column there. They'll also tell you about some of the findings from the research. And so what you will do is very succinctly represent or represent aspects of the findings. Now, if you look in the abstract, a well-written abstract would actually contain much of that which I have just told you. Yeah? The other thing is you should note is don't go on and on and on and on. This thing here is just really to give the reader a very quick glance or a very succinct appreciation of what the research article is about, right? The other question that just came back to my head. So you may find that you have to reduce the font for this matrix. So you may find that you have to reduce it to probably about 10. So while the rest of your work is 12, you may have to reduce it to 10 or probably say 9 for it to, you know, to hold and fit nicely in the page. Or if you know how to do it landscape, so just that section, that literature review section landscape, and get the others in the portrait, that's still fine. All right. If you do it 12, font 12, it could be a lot and just look out of shape and out of size and stuff. So you can kind of, so you notice this, the font is smaller than the other font. Right, so for that, you know, play around with the font. The others though need to be 12. So the other font in the rest of the document needs to be 12. I will accept a smaller font for the matrix. Any questions?
You can use Calibra 11 as well, sir, right?
Yes, that's fine. But
accepting the APA, right?
That using that, it has to be consistent throughout the document.
Has to be what, sir?
Consistent throughout the document. So whatever font you're using, make sure there's consistency.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Sir.
Oh, the other thing that just came to my head, and I probably would have said this already. If you find one journal article, it's a good way to lead you to other related articles on what you're studying. So that's part of my strategy. So if I find one article, I look in the reference list and I say, so what am I seeing here? And I may find another article, another related article, and that article, then when I read its reference list, I find something else, and then I read other. So it's almost like a chain reaction. So I usually just find one journal article or two, and it leads me to where I find other related. Yeah? So that's one strategy you should think about in terms of finding articles.
Sir,
Uh-huh.
at the top where you said, please use journal articles and unpublish these only.
Unpublished thesis. Unpublished thesis.
Okay. That part, I don't
Or
understand.
thesis.
Thesis only, yes.
So PhD candidates, some will not have published journal articles, but they would have published, for example, the entire thesis or dissertation. And so if you will find, for example, all of this information in a dissertation. And if you read through the abstract of a dissertation, the abstract of a dissertation will give you this information, right? So journal articles and PhD thesis are usually referred to, and conference papers and stuff are usually referred to as more primary type source data, as opposed to a book, because the book, many times they would have to draw from, more current pieces of research to write the book. And some of the times, by the time they finish writing the book, it's really outdated, right? So your journal articles in many instances could be very cutting edge, brand new, fresh out of the oven. So it's journal articles and PhD thesis.
Okay.
So actually, it's actually thesis there to suggest that it's plural.
Okay, so that is because you do this, so you're up to date then.
Right.
Okay, thanks, sir.
Mm-hmm. All right, so do you guys have groups based on names or numbers? So like group 1, group 2, group 3?
So we have names.
Okay, all right. So that is Debbie. Okay, Debbie.
Yes, sir.
But Debbie, was it you who was to show me either research objectives or questions?
No, sir.
Somebody in the group was supposed to show me research questions or something. I couldn't look at it that time.
From my group, sir?
No. I'm saying
Okay.
somebody in the group, in the class. So this is the opportunity to show me and let me give you some feedback on it. I'm trying to find the person, or I don't want to call out the person. No self. All right, so. All right, don't remember which is. All right, Debbie, do you have your draft there?
Pardon, sir?
Do you have your draft?
Draft of the questions or draft of the entire thing?
Draft of the project.
Yes, sir, I can access it.
Do you want to project it so we can pick the
No,
right?
sir.
Well, remember, this is the moment, that you need peace. So my primary school teacher used to say to me, make hay while the sun shines. Or let me say, strike while the iron is hot. So if you project it, I may just say something that you write wrong, and I can say no, write that way.
Let me consult with my group first, sir. I'm not an autocratic leader, I like to consult.
That's not like school challenge. Marsha, you're and Debbie in the same group?
Yes, sir. Marsha is in my group.
Yes, sir.
Denny. Denny, don't tell me
Yes,
you're in the
sir.
same group with them.
No, sir.
All right, so show me your group
No, sir.
work.
I'm in a different group.
Show me your group work. Let me critique it for you people. No, let me share this with you people. So just probably last semester, I taught a course called Academic Writing and Research Methods. And I kept saying to the students, you know, do the draft, and let us talk about it. And there are four groups, and the two groups that actually did that and went through, and we discussed it in class and stuff. And each week they came and they demoed their thing. They got a much better score. There are two who every week they didn't have any prepared. You know, it so happened, you know, one of them, they wrote absolute garbage and I couldn't help. So I don't normally like to fail students. So I called the course coordinator and I said, based on what I've seen with the student, you know, so the student did not do well on the individual assignment. And the group did not do well on the coursework, which meant that the student was going to fail. But then I also had to balance that with the fact that second marker would mark the project. And I also had to be fair to the other students who put the all out and worked. Anyway, he passed. I kind of had to pass him, but you know, it was a hard decision. Yeah. So if you can use this opportunity to show your thing, please do it. Please do it. It can be as messy as hell. Please show it.
So, sir, having consulted with my group, they've agreed that we will show you what we have so far for you to critique it.
All right. So
Marsha, could you do us the honors, please?
And I think the others should actually, you know, wait in line or stack up. Yeah. All right. Good. Master, let me go. Let me see on the top page. You don't need that emblem. You don't need the university emblem. Stop there, Marshall. Go back to the title. Go back to the title. Impact of COVID-19 on employee engagement at work. All right, so that word impact there, you can measure impact quantitatively and measure impact qualitatively. All right, we can work, change the word approach to study or research. The other thing is that you want a verb. So are you examining? Are you you know, investigating? Are you exploring? What kind of thing, right? And the point though is that so for example, I use the word exploring, but be careful because exploring suggests qualitative, right? So find a verb that is neutral, right, to both quan and quan, right? But it would be useful to have some verb or something like that. So I start my study by saying, so my study topic is towards an explanation of, or it could be, you know, an examination.
So it could be exploring the impact.
Huh?
Would it be exploring the impact of COVID-19?
It's just that the word exploring suggests qualitative.
Okay.
But you want a verb there, or a verb could do it, could strengthen it. All right, so let us sit further down quickly. All right. Go down past the summary. I don't want to see the summary because the summary is the last thing that you write. So ideally, you need to finish the proposal before you write the summary, because the summary is really just summing up what you have in the proposal.
Sir, we finished it. That's why we were able to put this. So we just need to go over now and fine tune.
Okay. All right. What font are you using there?
I think that's 11 for now.
Calibre.
Oh, Calibre. Okay. All right. All right. Go to the intro. So hold on, go back to the top of that page. So why do you repeat the title?
Because APA says that you're not to use the word introduction, you're to use the title there.
Go to the I know they are not so much for the word introduction. I need to check on that use of the title, unless that is for the 7th edition.
7th edition, sir.
Okay, all right.
And Mark is our in-house APA 7 specialist, sir.
That piece I don't know yet from when in there. All right. So you're indent there. Okay, good. Scroll down, let me see it. Scroll down. Don't move. All right. You guys, what did you find, for example, within a paragraph in text citation? So I see you have either good or whatever that is et al. 2016 as your signal phrase, and then further down use the same thing but with the date. Have you seen anything about that? Because ideally in the same paragraph you wouldn't repeat the date all the time. In this instance we're using it as a signal phrase. So where you have the name the second time there, it is assumed that it's the same person that you're referring to, and so you don't necessarily need to use the date there. But it is defined. The person wrote the article already, past tense, publish it, defined. Do you need a D there?
Yes, sir.
All right, go. So, indicate. Authors indicated. Just scroll down just a little bit. All right, so all right, hold on, don't move. Okay, all right. The authors added in it. For the purpose of the study, the researchers will utilize employee engagement as attachment of employees' communities. go back to the very top, because what I want you guys to do is create a very broad context up there. All right, so stop. The word of work is not words. The word of work as we know it is transformation. This is disclosure work for you should take a moment to individual to reduce by I want to say about the topic of engagement, because I want one of you guys to actually, outside of this definition that you're putting forward here, what's your context, what's your understanding of engagement?
So it is the alignment of the employees' values and objectives to that of the organization. It is that which causes the employee to exert discretionary effort, go above and beyond, to identify with the organization, and to see the organization as the place to work, irrespective of other opportunities that may come.
Okay, good.
In short.
On point. So layer that, put COVID on top of that for me. Because as you're making the COVID point, you started out with COVID. And I kind of wonder how you started with COVID and then
because we wanted to give a little background as to what was happening with COVID, the changes now with the work environment, and possibly even work arrangements, and now feel threatened by their job, threatened that they won't have their jobs because of the pandemic, or starts to feel that, or not think how they're being treated by the organization in COVID environment. So for example, persons might feel like their concerns about the pandemic is not being taken seriously. It may be that how the organization is dealing with it, it's not to the liking of the employee. Persons might not feel safe or feel the organization is putting out enough to make them feel safe coming to work. Persons might feel like, because for some persons who end up working at home, we're thinking that some persons are feeling even more pressured working from home. And like there's a lack of understanding that working from home comes with a whole new or different set of challenges. The fact that you might have children at home, the fact that you might not be able to operate how you did while you were in the physical workspace, and that the individual worker feeling the organization is not understanding the new dynamics and just needs work to be done and output to be met, output targets to be met, without a different kind of consideration for the well-being, the welfare, and the health of the employee.
All right.
It's about perception.
All right, Debbie, what I'd say is that as you go through, reflect on try not to bring over any of the hygiene factors or the satisfaction factors, because as I listened a while ago,
yes,
I thought I heard some satisfaction or hygiene factors being morphed into the engagement factors.
Oh, well, it was more to the factor.
Engagement. If you're studying engagement, then you have to look at engagement.
Yes. But I think the point I was trying to make though, sir, is that those things may impact the the workers' view of the organization. And so it's no longer the organization that they're proud to be a part of, because if they no longer feel connected to the organization. They no longer feel that based on the trajectory that the organization is on, they don't feel that their objectives are aligned or their values are aligned anymore.
So Debbie, what I'm saying to you is that, so for example, if you feel so much that this organization is mine, I own a part of this organization.
Yes.
Even if them don't give no good share to sit down upon in a COVID, you say, boy, I know, I understand why them never give me no good share, no kind of thing. I'm still committed to this organization. So what I'm saying to you is that we have to be careful about the hygiene factors, because the engaged person will see beyond the hygiene factors or the satisfaction factors and say, listen, this is my organization, you know, kind of thing. Or I have the flexibility to, or the latitude to make certain decisions. And when I contribute to certain decisions, it is going to be counted. My opinions are valued. So those are some of the things that are the more engagement factors. How well am I trusted, for example?
Okay.
How well am I incorporated into certain decisions and stuff? So outside of the hygiene factors, the engagement factors will keep somebody. Okay, so you know, them never give me no much hand sanitizer, no much mask and so. But as I go, me know the organization have no much money, kind of thing. So me understand, but me not leave. So the point I'm making is that there are the hygiene factors, like the mask and gloves and hand sanitizer and all of those. Those are hygiene factors, as opposed to the engagement factors. Right? But anyway, let's go down. So just bear that in mind.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, go further down. All right, so let me read the statement of issue.
Venetia? Venetia? How you doing? Hi, I've tried to call you so many times. Since from the time you asked me to call you, I tried. I'm gonna call you myself soon. I tried to call you.
All right, so in a nutshell, I want somebody to explain to me there what exactly is the problem at hand. So what exactly is the problem that has sparked this study? Marsha, Debbie?
Sorry, sir, I stepped away for a second. Repeat the question, please.
So I'm asking, what exactly is the problem in a 1 or 2 sentence? The other members of your group need to chip in as well, you know. So the question is what exactly is the problem in 1 or 2 sentences?
So can I go?
Yeah,
can I attempt? All right, so we're looking at the fact that COVID in and of itself has a psychological impact on employees, generally across the board. And so the problem is that being affected on a psychological level is also causing a problem with how committed persons are to the organization, how they value the work, and how they give of themselves in this period. And so the company wants to examine if this is an issue with engagement, if there's a challenge with engagement as a result of COVID.
Debbie.
I don't know if I explained myself.
As I hear you speak,
yes.
Let me tell you one of the biggest things with this COVID thing now. Trust.
Yes.
Trust is a big employee engagement factor.
Yes.
Because people wonder, okay, so people that them yeah, that work from home, but so the other day I called a staff, and our son answered the phone, and I said, please put your mother on the phone. He said she gone down the road. And I was like, okay. But then I had to wheel and come in my mind again and said, you know, but some of the times, some hours at evening time when work done, Miss Sarah send email and I do work and stuff. So to me, if she gone on the road during the quote unquote normal work time, what should be important is that she's still getting the work done. It don't matter if at 12 o'clock she do it.
Yes.
What is important is that it gets done. So she could have reached on the beach during what we consider to be the normal work time. But all I'm interested in is that the work is done. So that's the thing, and people understand those things, right? So inherent in that there is still that factor of trust, right? That still exists. And so somebody like that could still be engaged to the organization because they know, listen, nobody not over me. So I'm not physically there, but nobody's still not over me watching me to see what I'm doing and stuff. I still have that freedom to do and to whatever, right? My old mind pre-COVID was saying to me, watch her, she gone on the road. But then my COVID mind was saying, and work from home was saying, it don't matter what, where she's right now, what's important is that the work is done. Yeah?
Yes.
So trust, things like how people get involved in the decision making and stuff. So if you pivot your argument on things like those, so what I'd suggest that you do is go back and look at the things that are measured on the engagement.
Yeah.
If you're talking about engagement, focus on the engagement factors and try not to bring in the hygiene factors, because you're not studying satisfaction and hygiene, you're studying the engagement factors.
Okay.
So authority, autonomy, trust, things like those. Right? So I would actually want to see your statement, your statement, you know, be very bold enough to say, listen, for example, ideally, so if you're talking about ideally, you know, it should, you know, this COVID environment, you know, there should be that continued level of employee engagement, for example, this, that. However, with this environment, and again, we just talk about trust, where with this environment, there is the whole thing of, you know, whether or not people are in fact working from home and are as productive. So today I was in the employee engagement, the leadership summit, and the speaker said something, and I had to reflect on it, because what she said was that while there is an argument about loss of productivity, what some studies have actually been showing is that there is increased productivity because, for example, people are working longer hours and not recognizing that they are sitting. So they're at home, which means that they have lost focus, that work done, and I need to pack up and go home. So they start work, they work, and they work beyond the number of hours that they're supposed to work unconsciously. So productivity has improved. Right?
Yes, sir.
So let the problem jump out a lot more than it is jumping out now.
All right, sir.
And if you want to pivot it on the engagement factors, so there are questions. Ideally, you know, employees should exist in an environment that, you know, engenders, you know, employee engagement. In this COVID environment, you know, there are issues around, engagement factors, things like trust and, you know, all of those things, right?
Yes, sir.
So you highlight some of those things. All right, so let me see the purpose. The purpose of the study is to investigate the impact of COVID-19 on engagement. These methods is interesting to enjoy. Well, so what's nice here is that you actually highlight the design, right? The study phase the cost of quality data, quality findings, the rationale for the findings, and the interpretation of data question. In a general way, you have some nice things there. The format of your purpose statement is good. So I'm seeing the design, I'm seeing the purpose there, kind of thing. Just and I'm seeing the link between the purpose statement and what you're articulating there as the problem, right? I'm seeing at the tail there the rationale, which means that you don't need a separate rationale section, but you included the rationale there. Yeah, so it seems you're very much guided by some source to write this purpose statement. All right, good. You just need to tweak it somewhere. All right, let me see the research questions. So what is the current level of employee engagement among production staff when compared to other departments? Why single out production staff?
I think we were thinking, sir, that production staff would be the only ones, or the main department, really not working from home and having to be at the plant regularly while other departments go home.
Right.
And we were wondering if that is a factor to consider in terms of whether or not they remain committed to the organization, engaged, or when they compare themselves and feel like they're not being considered in the pandemic. I don't know. That's what we're thinking along those lines for that question.
Let me throw something in this spanner, because I'm seeing this question, but nowhere in the purpose statement, the problem statement, did you ever even mention that there was an issue with production staff?
I think we said something, sir, about production levels.
Mm-hmm.
We said something about.
Said about. Go back to it. Go back to the research. Yeah. No man, go to the problem statement. It's out there.
Oh, in the problem statement. So is there something about output there, sir?
Hold on. Yeah. So as I said, you know, guys, you need to make the connection between the problem statement, the purpose statement, and the research question. So you can be asking a research question, which in fact, the problem statement did not highlight. So if you're talking about, if you're pulling out that production staff, those production staff, the research problem should ideally highlight something about the production staff.
Okay.
If that there is a higher possibility for disengagement among those production staff, and as such, you are now going to look at what's the impact of kind of just to make some change or to make some traditions or stuff. So there should be some connection there.
Got you.
There should be some connection there. Right? Looking back at this problem statement and not seeing the connection between the questions you're asking and what you've articulated in the problem.
Okay, sir, got you.
Now you also need to look back on the purpose statement, because these research questions, so you need to also see the direct link between the research question, the purpose statement, and the research questions that are pulled out of that purpose statement. The other thing I'd question is, so the first question here, is that meant to be your quantitative research question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is the current level of employee engagement among production staff when compared to other departments? So how are you going to measure this? Is it a descriptive research question? Is it correlational? Well, it says when compared to, which means it is correlational. So what's your response options?
I'll have to look back at it, sir. Hold on.
Meaning like Likert scale and stuff?
Yes, sir. And some, hold on, I don't want to, hold on, let me just.
This actually look like you're gonna look at an
using the US, if that's how it's pronounced.
All right, it seems like something can work, because what you probably can do is collect, like you can work with an index kind of thing, or yeah, some interval level thing.
So we made mention that we use US engagement, US employee engagement scale, and yes, sir. It's a I'm looking at it now. It's a Likert scale.
So listen, the second question, you need to get more specific, because if you're on engagement, this question is, how has employee perceptions of the organization changed since the perception of the organization could mean several things: perception of hygiene factors, perception of organizational culture, perception of employee engagement, perception of the physical plan, perception of the company's ethic. What perception are you looking at? So I'd be more specific to say, how has the employees' engagement perception, or
Okay.
how has employees' perception of employee engagement? But the other thing is that you don't know that there's a change.
No.
So how are you asking about a change? Do you know that there's a change?
Well, because studying the impact of COVID is something that is new, and because based on prior reading, we know that there is literature to suggest that it is creating some challenge where engagement is concerned. And because
so why don't you ask a very general question in terms of what are the employees' perception of employee engagement in the organization in this COVID era?
Okay.
It takes away that bias, because you're asking about change and stuff, but there may not be any change.
That's true.
So you're literally just asking them, what do they think of the employee engagement? You know, what do they think of employee engagement in the organization now in light of COVID?
Yes. So what are the employees' perception of employee engagement in this COVID period?
Something of that sort. I'm not giving a specific things.
Understand.
Along that line.
Okay.
Engagement. How does employee engagement that differ based on the employee's perception of their job? I'm not quite sure what that is. So look back on the question, and I'm not quite sure what it asked.
It comes back down to their perception. I guess it would be similar to what you're saying about is the perception of their job. So for example, remember earlier we were saying that engagement also involves how the employee perceives their level of autonomy, perceive the job, the organization. So is the organization one that I love to work for? I'm committed to because they allow me to be able to contribute, to help make decisions. There's autonomy, all of that. So,
Debbie, I can stop you there because you see that the second question that we're talking about, or a question we're talking about, if you ask a very open question like that, you'll get several of those responses.
Yes.
And in your interviews, you can steer the interviews in the direction that you want it to go.
Yes.
Right? So you can ask people about those specific things that you're talking about now. Right?
Yes, sir.
So you probably just need 2 questions. One quant, one qual.
Yes, sir.
Ideally, in a mixed method study, you want a mixed methods question.
That's what we were aiming for.
What you could actually do is ask a generic question to say, how does the qualitative findings help to explain the quantitative results? That's a mixed method question. So that is a mixed methods content question. You could also ask a hybrid question in terms of mixed methods content and methodology. So my suggestion is check John Purcell. John Purcell has examples of content mixed methods question, methodological mixed methods question, and hybrid question. So my suggestion,
I guess we just never fully comprehend.
My suggestion is to put a mixed methods question as a 3rd question.
Yes, sir.
Right. All right. I see you have rationale here, but up there in the purpose.
Sir, maybe the rationale for mixing, and then the rationale that we have here be the general rationale for doing the research.
So go back to your proposal up here. Oh, what's the rationale for mixing? Okay, all right. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Again, I'm glad you guys did that because that's useful. Do you have a rationale for the methodology? You have a rationale for the study. No, don't move, don't move, don't move. Because this research will add to the body of knowledge, engagement, and that, but the question is what you haven't told me in this rationale is why exactly are you doing the study? Is there limited information about employee engagement in the COVID era? Limited information about employee engagement, limited methodological study. So are you just seeing quantitative and no qual, or qual and no quan, or only mixed methods are kind of thing? Or has a study been done before and you want to replicate it? Again, in this COVID environment, what I'm hearing you saying, if you link in employee engagement and COVID, there may not be any study, even local study, about employee engagement in a COVID era. And so that could be a rationale why you want to. So the rationale, hold on, the rationale is why you're doing this study, and the significance is who to benefit. Here, I'm seeing here that you're saying the research will add to the body of knowledge, so and so and so, which means how is this research going to be contributing to me? That's a part of the significance. That part to me shouldn't be there, should be in the significance.
In the what, sir?
In the significance.
Okay.
That portion that speaks about the research will add to the body of knowledge on employee engagement by highlighting so and so and so. To me, that's a part of the significance. The significance answer the question, who will benefit from this research and what value this research will have.
Okay.
So that sounds to me like it is asked, it is answering the question, what value will it have?
Gotcha, sir.
All right. Scroll down. But since I've highlighted significance, you can pick that up. We're talking about limitation and delimitation, so I won't go through that. You know what those are. The philosophical and theoretical underpinning. Okay, so appropriately the pragmatic word we can utilize. Okay, that's one, the word pragmatism. Okay, what's the theoretical foundation? The theoretical foundation is employee engagement. Engagement theories. Is it engagement? You want to say employee engagement theories?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. That sounds all right to me. I see the philosophical underpinning, and if you put employee engagement, that's the area of the construct that you're studying. So yeah, all right. Matrix. Let me see the matrix. All right, I won't go through that. We have the word for there in the we have the word for there in the summary column. Usually words 1 to numbers 1 to 9, you write out the word, and anything 10 and above, you write the number. So don't use words and numbers. So take out the number 4 there, leave the word 4. Same thing with 1. All right, scroll down. Let us jump past the matrix. You can tie that up. Okay, hold on. So methodology. Mixed methods research involved. Mixed methods research involved integration. Okay, so you have a definition there. That's good. All right, you talk about what mixed methods is. You talk about design. All right, go down, scroll down. What's nice is that you guys are paragraphing. That's good. Some people don't paragraph. You're going to lose marks if they don't paragraph. All right, go down. One other thing that is jumping out on me, look at your heading and your subheading. Because, for example, go back. So here we have challenges in using mixed methods. Go back and look at the levels of heading in AP. That should be the first word of the first letter of each word there should actually be capitalized. So go back and look at that. Go back and look at the levels of heading in AP. They changed it from
I think, yeah, the first letters.
First what?
The first letter of each word, you're right. Need to fix that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, go down. Question of Fiona Clark. Okay. What I love is that the in-text citations are on point so far. Examples of use of the design. Okay. Okay, good. All right, good. Yeah, so you guys are, oh, you need a page number here. You have, hold on. That's the name of this. Is that the name of this? The title of this study? Oh, is the title of this study. Okay, you're doing that patient. Oh, why explore the motivation? Why do you need the title of the study there? What's the significance of highlighting the title of the study there?
So because it asks us to speak about samples of the design being used to explore phenomena within the discipline. So we found two we're talking about. So it was just to indicate what the title of the article was.
But the thing about it is that if anybody really wants to find it, unless you're making a strong point about the title,
Okay.
right? But if, for example, that's not the subject there, then if the person really wants to see the title of the article, they go to the references.
Okay.
So if you're not making a strong point there about the article, for example, how the article was worded, the sequencing of the words, all of those things, or how the title showed up the design, and so you probably may not need the title there.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Sampling. Okay. So again, see, I have 100 in words and 100 in figures. Careful of that. All right, scroll down. The other thing, as I look through, remember that APA requires one space after the full stop, not two spaces. That seems two spaces. So check that out. Sampling design. Okay. So sequential probability. Okay. All right. All right. Scroll down. What's this pattern? Yeah, here I see some people talking about pattern. Great. So what's the sample size? The sample size. Well, you probably may not. Yeah, you probably could say the sample size, because then the other thing you guys need to look at is, so for example, you mentioned about that first question, a quant. You guys need to think about how it is that you're going to analyze that question, because that probably would help you to determine what your sample size is going to be like. So your method of analysis will help you determine what your sample size is going to be. Right, scroll down. Post-quant data analysis. Okay. So, all right, I see SPSS, good. Does this talk about the statistical technique you're going to use?
No, sir.
It needs to.
Not under the.
Whoa. So proposed. You must talk on the analysis. You must talk about the statistical technique you're going to use quantitatively, and on a qual, you're going to talk about how you're going to analyze the data qualitatively. So this is how Saldana's work becomes very important when you're talking about the qualitative data analysis. Go back and look at how Saldana speaks about analyzing qualitative data. So Saldana needs to be one of your references for your qual. I see SPSS somewhere down there, so it can be SPSS. Responsible, recorded, transcribed, later coded, and themed using analysis through SPSS. It has to be QD minor. Can be SPSS. SPSS is statistical. Just robot that and put QD minor. Robot SPSS. All right, good. Scroll down. Validity, all right. Approaches in quantitative question. Okay, so listen, you guys talking about validity, and Debbie, you and I had a conversation, and the rest of the group about what construct are you measuring, and not blurring the line. That's part of the validity, the content validity.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. I'm just eyeballing this. I'm not reading it through. Scroll down. Let me see. All right. You have a lot of blurb there. Focus group allows for. Just be careful that you don't have some of the methods in the validity section. Or even, for example, we're talking about validity things. So like this morning, I sat down and just reflected. And one of the things I did just to ensure, to strengthen my validity and the whole ethical consideration was to send back the actual one section of my report to the people who were the participants. So initially, I sent the transcripts to them. But now that I've written the actual thing, I sent it back to them to say, listen, identify for me what you're seeing, right? And also, as you go through, look at whether or not you're seeing anything that, you know, you can identify somebody else and all of that sort of thing. And people have started to respond, right? So what it means, I have to look back on it. So that's part of the validation process, all right? All right, go further down. All right, continue. All right, ethical consideration. All right, this you can find from any literature. Again, this section, if you, I would say, while you don't need to write detailed stuff, as much of the ethical considerations that you can pick up, please pick them up.
Yes,
so while you don't have to detail them, pick them up, right? So the whole thing of confidentiality, the whole thing of anonymity, the whole thing of pay, the whole thing of consent, informed consent, the whole thing of reporting, you know, providing them with report, not causing any harm, all of those things. Pick up as much of the ethics, the ethical considerations in the research. So my suggestion to you is that go, if you remember, I had asked you guys to go and peruse the university's ethics committee website. They have information there on the things that you must respond or you must satisfy to get an ethics approval. My suggestion to you is that you look back at that literature, look back at that sort of stuff, and highlight those things here. As I say, you don't have to go in depth with them, but highlight them. Again, this is for all the groups that I'm speaking to. All right. So you want to show the reader who's reading that you are considering the breadth of ethical considerations while you're putting forward this proposal.
Yes, sir.
All right, research skills, okay. All right, time frame. All right, these you can do something there. All right. Again, the time frame, there's no limit on it. So you can decide it could take 20 years, or you could propose that it's going to take 20 years to do this thing, or your entire lifetime. It's up to you.
Yes, sir.
So I hear people always that some people are telling me, oh, sir, we don't have enough. I said, well, it is open to you to propose what you think is manageable. All right. All right. All right, I see indentation and stuff. So, right, so I see the DOI, just note that, right? So I see that one in red there flagged because that's not done properly, kind of thing. Hold on. So the one just before red, check back with that. I see that WHO in quotation marks, not supposed to be that actor, biomedical, whatever that is, that 91 is supposed to be in italics, and take out that space between the 91 and the 1. It should be joined up. Yes, so look for things like those. You guys going good. You guys going good in my estimation. You need
So I
some
was
tidying,
beginning to wonder, sir.
you need some tidying up, but you're on your path. Okay, all right. Make sure you save that.
So that's it.
You include an instrument. Wow. So make sure your instrument has so if you remember, one of the classes I actually said to you guys, draft an instrument and have an introduction and all of those things and your consent form, your consent form and all. So those are bits of the course that I want you to draw back on. You notice you're gonna get marks for appendices.
So we adopted an instrument, sir.
That's fine. That's fine.
I don't know.
And the consent form. If you can include your consent form here, that's fine. Okay?
Yes, sir.
It's more marks. All right. Good, good.
Team next.
Yes, but tell you what, you guys gonna have to be quick. Tell you what I'm thinking is that we're going to have to probably do some other meetings.
Sir, don't say that. She just consulted with us first. That's all.
I explained to you that I'm not an autocratic leader. We're a team. And so I could not have made a decision on my own.
I just joke with you.
All right, so share no, sir. Yeah.
Right, sir.
Towards an understanding of performance-based pay.
Did you say an understanding?
Towards an understanding of. Okay, all right. Why do you need the topic there?
I did it based on how you did the outline. You suggest I remove it from here?
So yeah, but listen. I got to mention that you
sir,
don't
the sample paper that is in that website Purdue All, it says that you have to use the title. I said it already.
No,
she has the word introduction.
She has the word topic here, or this group has the word topic. There's a difference with a topic and title.
Okay.
Oh, so sir, take out the topic and put title?
Don't put anything.
What is this is supposed to be the introduction part?
No, this is just yes, kind of like the introduction is the first part. When you mentioned that we need to have the site, the title, the location, the site, and the participants in the study.
All right, so hold on. So where would you put this? Where's the summary page?
There's a summary. We were trying to cut out a lot of it, sir, because we were sticking to you have on your outline 12 pages, so we cut down a lot out of it. That is why it looks like this, but we're not entirely finished.
I said the font is different. That's one observation. Also take note that the summary is on one page.
Okay.
A separate page. Right. I don't want to read this summary because if you're not done, I want. Wow. One thing I picked up, your should be not justified, left aligned. The practice left aligning in the work.
Pardon me, sir?
Practice left aligning your work.
Left align.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, scroll down. So which means that towards the thing must space down to the next page. Tap it down to the next page.
This would be the intro, sir.
All right. So which means that piece that I was questioning up the top there, you can take out all of that.
Oh, okay.
The very top.
Okay, so you omit that, I'll write it down.
Take it out.
Oh.
You start with the summary. So you start with the summary and then move from the summary to the quote-unquote introduction.
Okay.
And then you move. All right. Right, so you have to do some tidying up to you because, like, see, you have Morgan here and you have two open bracket there at the front. Labor productivity should primarily contribute to that necessary growth in Morgan, Jamaica, and economic growth. Right, scroll down. So Cowell. Okay. All right. So remember what the area you're studying again?
Performance-based pay and worker productivity.
Okay. All right. Let me see the problem statement. Just space after the full stop. Synopsis or